What's good, y'all? It's Jalen Wilson with a new show on Real Ones Productions. And it's called Illini Fan Rants, and I'm here ranting about Illinois athletics. Well, the University of Illinois athletics. Sorry. And right now, I'm here to talk about the football season. It starts on Friday. Today is currently Wednesday, and I'm excited. Um, like I said, it starts on Friday at 7 p.m. Central. 7 p.m. No, yeah, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, and I'm so excited about the season. So I'm just gonna give you a little overview of last year's season and a preview of the Wisconsin game. So last year's season, it was Lovie Smith's first successful season at Illinois. You know, his first couple seasons was struggles. You know, as he had young players playing on defense and offense, but his players got grown up and they started winning, thankfully. But last year, you know, start off beating Akron, and another team. I forget the name. But then you lose to Eastern Michigan. Let me slow down. You also lose to Michigan, and I think Illinois lost another game in between there. But it was a loss against Minnesota also. But that win against Wisconsin, ranked at number 4 at that time, changed everything. I mean, the momentum because a week before they lost to Michigan, and it looked like their confidence was just blown. Like Illinois fans was actually saying, "Oh, is it time for basketball season to start?" And I didn't blame them because I was like, because mentally, I'm like, bro, the football season is over. We're not gonna win more than 3 games, if that. But they beat Wisconsin. They turned the season around. End up winning what 3 more straight? Because they beat Purdue. They beat Rutgers. Of course, that's just an easy win for any Big Ten team. And they beat Michigan State most importantly. On a 28-3 comeback. Falcon fans, y'all know about that. Um, Sadly, they lost the last 2 games because I feel like they got complacent with the last game because they lost to Iowa. And what really should have been, well, it shouldn't have been none. It was a fair loss, but Northwestern lost it. Illinois should have won that. Wisconsin, not Wisconsin. Northwestern ran the ball like I want to say it was around 67 times, and it ran for like 300 plus yards. So yeah, and then you also lose the bowl game to Cal, but I wouldn't worry about the Cal game just because Cal, well, not Cal, but Illinois was sort of depleted a little bit by injuries. The wide receiver core was not the same. Defensive, the defensive side of the ball was not the same, and it was just depleted. So I wasn't mad about the Cal loss. I mean, I would like to win the bowl game, but it didn't matter to me. Because I'm just happy to see Illinois finally back in the bowl game since I believe it was 2014 against Louisiana Tech in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. I believe it is. Um, but now I'm gonna move on to this upcoming season, and this upcoming season it is exciting. Mainly because now Illinois fans got hope. You know, the season was postponed early. People was like, "Oh man, we 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 ain't gonna have these players next year." Thankfully, we can watch them now, and I'm happy. I know you happy. Every Illinois fan out there, shoot, every Big Ten fan out there happy because Big Ten football is back. College fans should be happy because Big Ten football is back, and so to start out talking about this upcoming season, I'm gonna start out talking about some of the players that's returning. Of course, with the offensive line, you got Vidarian Lowe, Alex Palczewski. You have Kendrick Green, who, if he has a good year, he's definitely going to the NFL. Trust me. Um, you have Doug Kramer, who actually had an article written about him. And you have the newly named starter, Verdes Brown, who was a highly talented recruit coming out of high school. He hasn't played much in his time in Illinois, but hopefully, because he switched to, I believe it was offensive line to defensive line, then back to offensive line last year. But hopefully he can fill in the spot that we've been looking for at right guard. And then quarterback, you have Brandon Peters. I expect him to have a better year this year. He had a good year last year. Don't get me wrong, but he should be better this year. He should return a lot better this year. You have Isaiah Williams, who is like one of the fan favorites at Illinois. Who I feel like should be the backup quarterback. And this is like no shot at Matt Robinson, but I just feel like since Isaiah Williams, I think he's the future of Illinois. And I believe Lovey and Ross Smith, for as long as they're there, they want him as the future of Illinois at quarterback. He should be the backup. Because in my opinion, he should be starting next year after Brandon Peters leave. Matt Robinson, who's okay. I mean, he performed okay against Michigan. You can say he had his struggles. Northwestern, he didn't perform so well. Then you got Corian Taylor, who doesn't get many minutes. He actually saw a first action to play, if I'm not mistaken, last year against Rutgers. Oh, I was happy to see that. Illinois native, by the way. So shout out to him. You also got Deuce Spann, who is most likely going to redshirt this year. I'm not gonna talk much about him. At running back, you got Mike Epstein returner, who struggled with injuries, who will be 1,000-yard back or close to it, if not for that foot injury. And I believe, was it an ACL injury last year? I don't know. I don't remember. Not only that, you have newcomer recruit Reggie Love, who is also from the same high school as Isaiah Williams, and a couple more Illinois recruits. I feel like he should get early minutes. Right now he's battling with Jakari Norwood, if I'm not mistaken, too. So it is what it is at running back. I mean, I like it. It's probably been the best position since Lovey's been there. You got wide receiver with Josh and Matter Bebe. Trayvon Sidney. Nope, he's not on the team no more. Who else do you have? Donnie Navarro. Then you have Brian Hightower, the Miami transfer. University of Miami, to be exact. And I'm probably forgetting another transfer in Desmond Dan, who came from, I want to say, New Mexico State, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody who sees the video, correct me if I'm wrong about that, but yeah, he should be good. I'm probably forgetting a couple of other receivers. In tight end, you got Luke Ford, who transferred from Georgia last year, who didn't get to play. The NCAA did him dirty last year with the eligibility. You got Daniel Imatorbhebhe, who's coming over from USC, who is Josh Imatorbhebe's brother. I don't know if he's older or younger. I'm not too sure about the age. And you got Daniel Barker, who did good last year, being the number one tight end. Especially with Luke Ford not being eligible. Then his freshman season was okay, but his sophomore season was pretty good. He caught that touchdown pass, that game-winning touchdown pass against Michigan State. Shout out to him. I will never forget that. Now I believe I'm moving over to defense. Defensive line, it really has its questions. You have Keith Randolph, who's a redshirt freshman going into this year. You have Anthony Shipton, Jamal Woods, who I think would be an NFL prospect if he could stay healthy. You also have you 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 have the new the defensive tackle that was a transfer from a D2 school, if I'm not mistaken. I do not remember his name. But with this defensive line, they also got some young pieces with Johnny Newton being like the main one, I believe. Then you then you move over to, well, I'm still on defensive line right now. Defensive line, it was okay last year. We took a hit with Jamal Milan not coming back. Well, he can't come back because he was a senior. Sorry. You got Ken Jackson and Tymer Oliver, who were all serviceable last year, not coming back because they were senior. They graduated. They Owale Batiku, who could have came back, but he didn't. I don't blame him. He's probably gonna have his best season. So he's probably gonna have his best season last year, and he did. So I don't blame him for not coming back. So the defensive line took hits, but this was this Wisconsin game will really be a true test to them because Wisconsin likes to run the ball and they have big offensive linemen. So it's gonna be a fun thing to watch. Then linebacker, you got Jake Hansen who forced 7 or 8 forced fumbles last year, which was great because that's a big reason why Illinois won last year. Playing that lovey ball, as Illinois like to call it, lovey ball turnovers. You have Jake Hansen, Shaman Cooper, who might be starting. I don't. It hasn't been named, but with Milo Eifler missing the first half of the Wisconsin game, who's another linebacker, expect Shaman Cooper to get some minutes. You got Tariq Barnes, linebacker, who actually got more minutes over Shaman Cooper last year, but he actually impressed. He actually impressed a lot of fans last year. And you have Kalan Tosin, who listed as 6'2", 230, but that man body looks like he's 6'2", 250, pure muscle. Really with this linebacking core, I don't really see how they will cover against Wisconsin because last year the coverage for linebackers wasn't too spectacular. It wasn't bad all the time, but it wasn't always good. And it's to show improvement this year, this upcoming game. But against Wisconsin, it's gonna be put to a test because last year, the linebacker core bit a lot on play action to where they run down and not stay in where they're supposed to. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, I'm not out there on that field, so I don't know what's going through their heads, but I would like to see if they're more disciplined on play action plays this year, and not biting on the play action every time. You also Now I'm gonna move over to cornerback. Cornerback, you have Nate Hobbs, who I thought should have been all Big Ten last year. He's a heck of a corner, if you ask me. Uh, if he has a good season, he's definitely an NFL prospect. If it's around, I would say he would go in if he has a good season. I would say somewhere around the 4th, 5th round, and that's no knock to him, but it's whatever. He's a pretty good player, best cornerback we have right now. You also have Devon Witherspoon, who I was happy with last year. He came into training camp late because he didn't know his SAT score, I believe, and he got it back late. So he came into training camp late, and I believe he came in at, what is he, 6'1", 6'2", one. He came in at 6'1", 6'2", 170. He really impressed last year. He had that big shoelace tackle against Wisconsin that actually helped Illinois win the game. So he really impressed people last year, and he wasn't like a top prospect. He was a 3-star prospect that didn't get rated up until he was committed to Illinois. So he actually impressed me last year. Shout out to him. Then you have the prize possession in Marquez Beeson, who was Illinois' first top 100 recruit since I believe it was Juice Williams, and he didn't get to play last year. He tore his ACL in training camp, so we never got to see what he was going to be like against Big Ten competition like at full pace. But what do I say about him? He hopefully he's good. I know he's been training to come back. I follow him on Twitter and Snapchat, so I see lots of his things and everything on Snapchat. Him working out. Shout to him. Hopefully he comes back and locks down multiple wide receivers next not next year, but this upcoming year. And then I believe that's about it. I mean, you also have DBs that you also have our corners that also can play safety. And I'll move on to safety right now. Uh, with safety, we have Sidney Brown, who it really is the best safety on the team, if you ask me. And I believe lots of people will agree. He's not like a hard hitter, but he doesn't have like one specialty about him to where it just amazes you. But he's just a well-rounded safety, if you ask me. Tony Adams should be Illinois' other starter, not our, because I don't play for the team. And last year, if you ask me, I mean, I don't know why he's playing safety. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's cool with playing safety, but I believe even last year he said that he was more comfortable playing cornerback after he had to move to cornerback. So I thought he was going to be the second corner on the team. Uh, then you have other Miami transfer Derek Smith, uh, who will be playing safety, I believe, this year. But I know Lovey likes to play. Will try to play him at safety and linebacker since he has good size on him. He has good size on him. You also have Quan Martin. Quan Martin was a person that was suspected to have a big sophomore season. He didn't. But he came in and served minutes at safety last year and did some good things. He did some good things. But now I'm going to move on to the Wisconsin game because that's all for the roster. And I know I ain't named everyone, but I named some important players. But the Wisconsin game, I'm really happy to see it. I know Bleacher Report said Illinois was gonna finish blasting the Big Ten West. Shoot, shout out to y'all for all getting stuff wrong, anyways. They also said Wisconsin was gonna beat Illinois 27-14. I mean, Illinois is already 23 point underdogs. So, I mean, Illinois beat this team last year, and you got to add on that Wisconsin is missing their best wide receiver from last year, best running back from last year, who was most likely the best running back in the NCAA of all last year. Like you also got to add that they're missing two of their best linebackers from last year, and they're missing their starting quarterback who's out with an injury. Hopefully he gets get back healthy. Sorry. But I don't know why people are like, oh, Wisconsin's going to whip Illinois. No, they're not. I mean, I don't think they are. I mean, of course they can win, of course. But I think this Illinois team has chemistry. People don't take that into account. This Illinois team has great chemistry because lots of players from last year are returning to this year, especially on offense. You saw last year, our offense had this struggle last year because I think the transfers came in and it was like the chemistry between the two was there, but it wasn't there 100%, and I believe it's there 100% now. So I don't believe these people are taking that into account. And also the fact that this ain't the same Illinois team from from 2000, was it 15, or when Illinois went 2-10. Like, they're not the same Illinois team. This is a different Illinois team. This is the Illinois team with confidence, with swagger that they haven't had in a long time. So I'm really excited to see that game. I I don't know what to expect from that game because I think Wisconsin will keep the same game plan. They will try to run the ball. Um, and 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 this will be a test to the Illinois defensive line that's young, or maybe not even young, just inexperienced with each other. That's really unproven. Besides Jamal Woods, this is an unproven defensive line. So I mean, I would suspect they Wisconsin knows them will try to run the ball, but it is Illinois' job to stop that, and I believe they did last year, and they will this year. They will force Wisconsin to throw, which is not a good throwing team. Um, so I don't expect them to put up too many points, 21 points at most, which is how much I have them scoring this game. The Illinois, I mean, I don't know what to expect from them offensively. We had our struggles last year. We had struggles last year. Didn't have the struggles last year. It, it was kind of 50-50 sometimes. Uh, but I expect the Illinois offense to be on good terms with each other, have great chemistry with each other, put up some points, put up a lot of points, which is why I have them scoring at 28 points. Actually, scratch that. They scoring 31 points. Scratch that. 31 points. So it's gonna be Illinois 31, Wisconsin 21. I'm trying to everybody down to Illinois because they're Illinois. They aren't the most known team. People didn't pay attention to them last year until they beat Wisconsin and until they beat Michigan State. People start paying attention last year. But yeah, but that's my season preview. And it's your boy Jalen Wilson with Real Ones Productions, and I'm signing out. See you.